I am quietly watching, as you can hear it, Mando chapter 9, episode 9, season 2. It's, the first one for season 2. And I love it. I know a lot of people are going to complain. A lot of people are going to whine. A lot of people are going to bitch about the lore. I saw somebody complaining the Great Dragon doesn't look right. And then, somebody's going to complain about Boba Fett being alive. Of course, Boba Fett was alive in the EU. They didn't have a problem with that. Okay, see where I'm going here. I think, in my opinion, this is a good start. Doomcock wanted more. He didn't really want to go back to Tatooine. I didn't have a problem with that. What I liked about this time around is there was a lot of really good nudges. Hey, Chris, how you doing? There's a lot of really good nudges in this. You've got HoloNet of the Death Star 2 blowing up. You've got R5D4, the actual real R5D4, showing up with little like smudges on him on where he was steaming and whatever in A New Hope. Because really, when you think about it, this movie really isn't that far into the future, or the show. Okay, then you've got Raylan, not Raylan, Timothy Oliphant. I'm sorry, flying what looks to be a speeder, and it's on the engine of one of the engines for Anakin's speeder bike, or swoop, or not swoop, but pod racer. I mean, you know, there's so much going on in here, and of course, and this is not spoiler free, by the way. So if you haven't seen it, don't watch. Come back later. And at the end, Tamara Morrison. I think he's probably playing Boba Fett. Remember this season, in season 1, we saw on Tatooine the body of that dead assassin. We saw spurs, we saw a cape. There's Boba Fett. There's Boba Fett. I mean, and there are going to be people complaining about that. I don't really care. Morrison as Fett looks a little worse for wear. All right? He looks a little worse for wear. If it's not Boba Fett, I'm going to scream. I mean, it is. I mean, I think it's a great episode. I think it's, all right, I'm going to tell you guys something. One of my favorite movies, just to watch to have fun, is a movie called Cowboys and Aliens. Jon Favreau directed it. Harrison Ford's in it. And Daniel Craig is in it. And a few other people that Olivia Wilde, whom I can't stand. And some others. And it's a fun movie. It's a Western, but it's science fiction. It's about as close to an actual shoot 'em up Western as you'll ever see Harrison Ford in. Frisco Kid was a comedy, and he was in Westerns like when he was on TV, when he was a young actor, but, he never pulled a Clint Eastwood and actually did a Western. So watching this and being reminded of how good a job Favreau handed a very strange script and kept the spirit of what he was doing while he was directing this very strange script. It shows in this. The Westerns are very I think near and dear to the movie public, they're serious movie buffs. I grew up with them. If we weren't watching, Gunsmoke or The Big Valley or Ponderosa or Bonanza, I should say, or something else, one of my brothers had Clint Eastwood on the TV in a movie. Rawhide, for instance. And of course, all the movies. And I gotta say, Westerns to me work in this instance. They work in this instance. They make sense in this instance. They have they lend a certain bit of reality, I think, and good storytelling to what is going on. Harrison Ford likes to describe Star Wars as a Western. I mean, Han Solo is a space cowboy. He's a gunfighter. He's a gunslinger. You know, he's a highway. If he had been in an actual Western as Han Solo, he would have been an outlaw. He'd have been a cattle rustler or something like that. A train robber, a bank robber, something. All right. That's the part of Star Wars, I think, that doesn't get enough love because the Jedi sort of, kind of over everything. And we're able to kind of explore that world. If you look at the Old West in America, St. Louis was the gateway to the West. And the West really was the edge of civilization. I mean, that's it, the edge of everything. And between St. Louis and San Francisco, there was nothing that could be considered a city, could be considered civilized. The people that went there were bounty hunters, gunfighters, gamblers. You know it. There you go. There's a great line in Lonesome Dove when, hey, Trayla. Oh, yeah. American history is one of my things, and my mom loved it, so I got to explore the Bozeman Trail in Montana and, Tombstone in Arizona, the gunfighters, the Indian Wars. I think it's part of American history that doesn't get enough love. But this is where our lore came from. The history of the Old West is what made us who we are. Okay, those characters, that's our mythology as Americans, and to see it in this way, these guys, they're not part of the empire. Tatooine is not civilization. Hut space, you really couldn't look at it as being part of the civilized galaxy. Okay, that's like, you're looking at, Dodge City, Kansas, and saying, well, it's kind of like Coruscant. No, it's not. Dodge City, Kansas, and Narshada are kind of like Coruscant. And it's like, no, they're not. There's completely different things going on there. The rules are different. The rules are radically different. The rules are radically different in the Outer Rim, which is where Oliphant is on Mos Pelgo, and where the Mando finds himself. And it's where Han Solo, as a young smuggler, learned his trade. It's where Cade Bane runs around. They are in the middle of Jabba the Hutt's former empire. And the empire was there, but there was no real law. Okay, they were occupied, but when Jabba was there, did it matter? You could walk into the Mos Eisley Chelman's Cantina and meet a bunch of, freighter pilots. If they weren't smuggling stuff, they were trying to figure out how to rob each other, And that's the thing about this. And now we're finally kind of getting a chance to actually see it. And I love it. I love it. And the shout outs here. You had R5D D4 show up. You've got Oliphant flying what looks like a piece or an engine. His ride is literally on one of Anakin Skywalker's pod racing engines. You've got there's one part in it where Din Djarin, the Mando, takes his rifle and hits Oliphant's jetpack and sends him flying. That's a huge shout out to Return of the Jedi and Boba Fett and Han Solo. And another, and when Oliphant's telling the story about what happened at Mos Pelgo after the Empire disappeared, after Death Star 2 blew up, you got to see it blow up on the HoloNet. And everyone's like, yeah, because they're gone. I mean, here's the deal. Places like Tatooine, I think, and take any planet in the Outer Rim, create a kind of rugged individualist that doesn't like being told what to do by more civilized people. That line, that from Lonesome Dove, where Captain McCrae, or the captain Woodrow, tells Gus, "I'd like to see that country before all the bankers and lawyers show up." That's the Outer Rim, before all the bankers and lawyers show up. These are rugged people who live by their own rules, and when you think about it, you get a taste of it from Han Solo. He doesn't like being told what to do. He doesn't like being bossed. He's lives by his own creed, and all these people do that. All these people, and that's what I love about this. And I know a lot of people who are very married to the EU are going to be upset, but there are a few parts in this that are definitely pulled from the EU. The Krayt Dragon. It doesn't look exactly like a Krayt Dragon, but it is a Krayt Dragon. When they pull the pearl out of the dragon, that pearl is part of what makes lightsabers work. That's expanded universe. Now, they're going to be accused of mining the expanded universe. This is what I think they're doing. Because now I'm positive that they're retconning everything that Kennedy era did. What I think they're doing is they're going to bring parts of the EU that were good and keep parts of it that weren't. I think we are probably going to see maybe Jaina and Jason and Anakin Solo. I think we might see Mara Jade. Mara Jade, maybe not Luke's girlfriend, but maybe his first Padawan learner. I think that would be a great idea. That's just a theory, an idea I'm throwing out there. You gotta understand, Luke has a lot to do. He's got a lot to worry about. He's literally recreating the Jedi Order from scratch. And the one weakness I have here is Din wants to take Baby Yoda, the child, back to its kind, the Jedi. But there aren't any Jedi. Wait a second. On the HoloNet, when you hear of Grandmaster Luke Skywalker being the Jedi Order being reinstated by the New Republic, I mean, wouldn't you hear that? That's one of the parts I have a hard time with. But it's fine. I'm not a nitpicker. I'm not going to sit there saying, why are they going back to Tatooine? And kind of being upset about the aliens that are familiar to us and ignoring the fact that in the crowd at the Gamorrean fights, there are tons of aliens you have no fucking idea what they are. Okay? You see ones we're familiar with and ones we aren't. Okay? And that's what's going on here. And it's fantastic. All right, it makes me feel good to be able to watch this and walk away without wanting to kill somebody. Some people will bitch. I can name them. I can name them right now. They'll come on here or won't because they're chicken shit. And they'll say something stupid and leave. You're not going to get everything you want. If they can take what's good in the EU, turn it into the canon, and, you know, leave the weak sauce out, what's wrong with that? You know, obviously, they're exploring lightsaber lore with that pearl, okay? This is great stuff, and we should celebrate it, and we should encourage Jon Favreau and Disney, as far as I'm concerned. I love this shit. I mean, this is what, to me, Star Wars is all about. You know, you're hyped up for the next thing. You're hyped up for the next place he's gonna go, what he's gonna see, all of this stuff. And, seeing Tamara Morrison at the end when you realize all of this stuff is, and I love it, the foreshadowing to the show about Boba Fett. Timothy Oliphant in his armor. And his armor looks a little worse for wear. It looks like it had a lot of acid issues, right? Then you see Din hit his jetpack and he goes flying. That's a shout out, not only to The Empire Strikes Back, but to Boba Fett. And then you see this guy in black, very pale faced, probably scarred from the armor or from the acid in the Sarlacc, if not from the acid in the Krayt Dragon. Because remember what Din says: Krayt Dragons eat Sarlaccs. All right. And it's just, I just love this because it's a constant, you get Din's hero's journey, and he's running into all these interesting people like Oliphant's Marshall, Cara Dune, and all these other people. You know, there are enemies chasing him because they want the kid. Who is the child? Is it Yoda? That's a theory out there. I don't like that theory, but still is a theory. Who is he? We don't know. And where is Ahsoka gonna show up? You know, all of this stuff is just, to me, fantastic, and it's worth everything to be able to watch and enjoy. And I really want you guys not to nitpick. This is Star Wars. This is Star Wars the way it should have been made. Okay? No, it's not the EU. Okay? But like I said, I am not married strictly to the EU. I can see things that you can use from the EU and then things that you don't want and make everything better. And hopefully that's what they're doing. And it's just, Jon Favreau has to take over Star Wars. He does. I mean, and another thing, there isn't any PC shit in this. There isn't any SJW nods. This is fucking classic storytelling. There's nothing SJW preachy bullshit anywhere. You could have turned on any TV show back in the 60s or 50s, a Western, and gotten a similar kind of story. Okay? It's fantastic. And that's what we should do. That's what we should be looking at. You know, that's what we should be seeing. And that's the thing. And it just, I'm massively excited about this. Here's my thing. We've had a long time where we couldn't be excited about something. And some people are going to choose, no matter what, not to be excited. They're going to find something to bitch about. They're going to say it's not the EU. It's not good enough. They're going to say it was okay, but A, B, and C. If they don't like it outright, they're going to nitpick. But we have been through so much as a fandom. To see this and to feel like you're actually watching Star Wars again is a tremendous feeling. These people care about what they're doing. Okay, they care about the story, and you can tell. And I'm going to say this: George Lucas had everything to do with this. I don't give a flying fuck if you disagree with me. I really, really don't. Go look on IMDb. He was the one giving Favreau pointers. Favreau wrote this. He didn't have any help on this story. Favreau wrote it. Okay? Kathleen Kennedy's an executive producer. She has nothing to do with this. Pablo Hidalgo, you don't see his name anywhere. Okay? Anywhere. This is all Favreau, and he did a magnificent job. If it's not good enough, maybe you're a very disgruntled person who can't be satisfied with just having a good time. All right? You're not happy with anything. Ever, probably. I liked it. I genuinely, really liked it. It was amazing to watch. It's amazing to watch second time. This is what they should have been doing. Instead of the story, the novels, instead of all of that, what they should have been doing was this. And not having anything to do with, rewriting this and doing that and this is, I'm gonna tell you this. This is a big fuck you to Pablo and the story group. This is a huge fuck you to them. All right? Favreau meant it. There he goes. There's that, it flies off just like Boba did. And it's like, it's so awesome. I mean, I'm gonna tell you guys something else. The guy that plays Mando in the armor, you notice how he walks? You notice how he has a certain swagger? There was an actor a long time ago who walked like that. I couldn't figure out why that looked familiar to me. That actor was named John Wayne, the biggest movie star of all time. The young man in Mando's armor is John Wayne's grandson. Think about that. He's a stunt man in Hollywood. And the idea that he is, that is another thing that just makes me go, squee, I love it. I think this is such an ode. And the people, it's so great. It's just, it's just fantastic. The end, Tamara Morrison standing there and walking away. And I'm going to remind you guys of something. Boba Fett in Clone Wars didn't always wear Daddy's armor, or Jango Fett's armor. I hate calling him Daddy because he was a clone of Jango, so how can he be? Okay, so, and you'd think that Boba, that whole story weirds me out. So seeing him out of his armor doesn't bother me, and it shouldn't bother you either. It's just really, and now here we are. There's the scene where the Sand People, the Tusken Raiders, are cleaving, meat off of the Great Dragon. That's very much what you'd see after Native Americans that lived on the plains. You'd see that after they killed a buffalo. Everybody from the village would show up, and the carcasses would be out there. The animals would be skinned, the meat would be taken, and it was a process. And that's what's going on here. And we'll see the Marshal again, I think. I think we will. I think Tatooine, you know, whether you like this idea or not, is, and there's the Pearl. That's, you know, that's part of how you make a lightsaber in the EU. And I know there are people that are gonna bitch and moan, but don't, just wait, okay? You know, this is just, and it's so good not to think about politics or anything else right now. It really, really is. And, you know, you got the twin sons of Tatooine, and there's Tamara Morrison, Boba Fett's rifle. There he goes. And it's like, you know, it's fucking awesome. It just, all right, so, you know, I loved it, and I want everybody to be happy and enjoy themselves. Okay? This is good stuff. It really, really is. And I'm having a blast with it. I really, really am. And I really wish other people would too. You know, it was just really fantastic. Amy Sedaris, John Leguizamo, who I don't like, Oliphant, let's see who else, Tamara Morrison. You know, it was just, you guys, this is so great. I can't even. I mean, you know, it's just, and it's a lot of fun. And, you know, we didn't get beaten over the head with SJW shit. You know, we didn't get beaten over the head with LGBTQXYZ. We didn't get beaten over the head with the, you're racist, and all the rest of that shit. It's just, I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, that's probably my favorite part of it. It really is. No fucking SJW shit. So I gotta go, cause I'm gonna probably do this tonight. I'm gonna probably carve my pumpkins tonight, but I've got some other stuff I gotta do to get ready for Halloween. So I'll see you guys around the galaxy. Have a great day, and may the force be with you.